Antoine here, and we are going to be doing the book review podcast here, and we are going to be starting off this wonderful podcast with the Unwind series. This series is my personal favorite, and it was made by Neal Shusterman. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Neal Shusterman before, but he is one of my all-time favorite authors. He tops Ronald Dahl in my book, and that's a pretty high thing to top. He started this series with the first book, Unwind, in 2007. And he sequeled this book with Unholy in 2012, which was 5 years after Unwind. I don't know about you guys, but I could not wait 5 years for the sequel to a book. I wouldn't be able to do it. It would tear me to pieces. The third book in this series, titled Unsouled, came out in 2013, a year later, which would be more bearable, I guess. And then Undivided, the fourth and final book in this series. Now, may I remind you, Unholy had its own companion book, and there was also another companion book named Unbound, which was just some tall tales coming from the same Unwind universe. Okay? Now, what I love about this book series, and right now we're going to be covering Unwind. So I'm talking about Unwind right now. Now, I'll flip the slides. I'm talking about a different book. And don't worry, I'll try not to spoil a lot, but just be careful if you haven't read Unwind, Unholy, or Unsouled or Undivided. I will not spoil the ending for Undivided. Don't worry about that. But if you've not read Unwind, Unholy, and Unsouled, I recommend you click off right now. Anyway, I'm not going to be spoiling it. I changed my mind. Okay, I won't spoil it. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Anyway, starting our relationship off with no trust. I apologize deeply. Anyway, Unwind, the first book in the series, I wasn't so sure about this series at first. I didn't think it was going to be too good. I mean, it was like kids getting cut into pieces and used for other people's body parts. I wasn't into it at first. So it did not seem like it would suit me. But trust me, guys, this book, it's amazing. I could not put it down. It was ridiculous. I would bring it to the dinner table. It would go with me everywhere. I loved this book. I could not put it down. It was crazy. It had me obsessed. The character development in these books, like it starts out. All right, Connor, the main one. We're gonna talk about Connor for right now. He's one of the main characters in the book. He starts off as a hothead who cannot control his temper and gets into too much trouble at school and in his simple life. But he develops as a character, and I like that about Neal Shusterman. His characters develop, like with Scythe. I read that book recently, and the character development is out of this world, and the settings, crazy too. Like in Unwind, it goes to this army or airfield garbage disposal. Like they dispose of airplanes at this place, and it's full of Unwind AWOLs. And I just find that absolutely crazy. I don't understand how Neal Shusterman comes up with this stuff. I love it, guys. I love it. I highly recommend this book, highly. Then we have Risa, who plays the piano, but sadly she gets selected because she did not do too well in her piano performances, and they really didn't see the need for pianists in her school since there's so many of them. Anyway, next character, Levi. He's a tithe, and a tithe is a sacrifice in a religion. So, like his family are sacrificing Levi to God or whoever they worship. And I find this pretty messed up because I don't understand how you can sacrifice your own child to be slaughtered. Pretty much, it's not even like I don't understand where they're coming from when it's like, oh, you're not gonna die. You're just gonna stop living. That is the definition of dying. I don't know. That's the definition of dying. So I don't understand how this family can sleep at night when they give their only son, or not the only son, they have more sons, but they give their son away to be slaughtered and used for other people's parts. I don't. So he's pretty much spare parts. That just horrifies me, you guys. Horrifies me that people can be that shallow and that just mean. It's horrible, 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 horrible. Levi is luckily rescued on his way to the tithe facility by Connor, who is escaping a truck. So he hitches a ride in the truck. This dude's pretty cool. We got an Unwind arm, so he understands. He's trying to give back to the community to help out a poor AWOL. But unfortunately, Connor discovered because he trusts technology too much, and he goes on the run he makes a bus crash. He gets hit by a Cadillac, and fortunately, that Cadillac holds Levi, poor little Typh. And when he is helped, I'm putting that in quotations, you guys can't see me, but helped by Connor, he is used by like a human shield to take the bullets, like the knockout bullets. I forgot what they were called, my bad. And I find that very interesting because you can see how it kind of changed over the series, but just by that one action, he took Levi hostage. He took Levi hostage, and he tried to make it seem like, oh, he didn't take it hostage. He was just trying to help him. No, he took him hostage. He was trying to make him take the tranquilizer bullets. Remembered it for him so that he would not be captured. And Levi does not like being held by Connor. No, he does not like. He wants to be sacrificed. These people that raised him have made him believe that this is a good thing. That him dying or no, my bad, not living anymore would be a good thing, and he'd serve his community, which is true. But it's still awful to waste a human life to save another one because you're not really gaining anything in the process. You're not really getting, unless it's a doctor that's going to cure cancer. It's not helping anyone in the process. Okay, well, I think you read the book, all right? I've gave you enough information about the characters. Very good character development. Now we're going to move on to Unholy. Now this one opens up with Cam, who is he is made fully out of unwind parts. He was never really born. He was just made. He was crafted. He was engineered in a facility, and he was made to be perfect. He had guitar hands. Not guitar hands. He had hands that could really play the piano and guitar really well. And he had musician hands. He had a great mind. He had a great body. He was very athletic. And all these attributes made him so he would be very likable by society. And this because proactive citizenry was trying to sell more of people more things like him to the U.S. military to be used in the war because they were like the perfect soldiers. And I find this very messed up because Cam never asked to be made like that. He never asked to be crafted, and people did not like the fact that he was crafted and not actually born. People were disgusted by that, as I am. But Cam, he develops in this series. He definitely develops. He has a thing for Risa, which I don't appreciate because Risa's kind of girly, but back up, Cam. Sorry. And it also has a character named Starkey in it, and he ends up killing two juvenile authority officers and goes to the air base, which is now owned. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. That's a spoiler alert. So I'm not gonna say that. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I'm gonna go from there. Okay. He kills, and he's trying to get more fame than the Akron AWOL, which is Connor, because when he escaped, he ended up shooting a juvenile authority officer with his own tranquilizer gun, and he was made fun of. And his name is Nelson. You may know of him if you've read the books. Nelson is a interesting character to say the least. Anyway, on to the next book, Unsold. Unsold is a very, very, very interesting book. I don't mean to be mean, but this was the worst one to me in the series. It wasn't a bad book, don't get me wrong, but it was just not my favorite. I don't really have much, I like this book. It's good for the series. It's a series, but you have to read this. I'm not saying don't read it. You have to read it. But I'm just saying I did not like this book personally. It didn't really go anywhere, I guess. All right, on to the next book, and I really have nothing to say about Unsold. Undivided. This was my favorite book in the entire series. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't tell many people this, but I'm going to tell you guys because you guys are my buds. Made me cry. Okay? Made me cry. But that's not saying much because I cry pretty much every ending of every book and every movie if it's even remotely sad. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when Yondu died, I cried my eyes out. So sad. Poor Yondu, man. Sorry, I got lost in thought. Anyway, Undivided. I don't even know where to start without spoiling the book, but it is just so good. It's masterfully told. It wraps up everything perfectly in a tight little bundle. and it somehow still leaves room for Unbound to be made. And that's the